Good evening, everyone. I hope my voice is audible. Good evening, everyone. I hope my voice is audible. The idea behind today's lecture, today is I think 22nd or 23rd lecture in our 50 days main series, which is YouTube free live series. The idea of today's lecture is to give you certain data, facts, or content which you can use in questions from GS1, from say Indian geography, natural vegetation, and in GS3 where you can use it in environment, ecology, biodiversity, climate change, human geography. You can use those, whatever we are going to discuss, you can use in GS1 as well as GS3. Similarly, you can use some content of it in GS5, which is paper of Assam, and then in GS4, if you are familiar with the concepts of environmental ethics. Okay. So this particular topic has encompassing relevance, encompassing GS1, GS2 in terms of administration, good governance or environmental governance, GS3 and GS4 in environmental ethics, and then GS5 some part of Assam. So if you're smart enough, you would be able to utilize this data for essay writing as well. So to cut the long story short, what we are going to study today or what we are going to discuss today, it's more of factual in nature, and I intend to inform you about certain facts which can be utilized for answer writing. Okay. Today's lecture is not subjective at all. It is not defined by the subjective interpretation. It is objective and factual. Okay. So listen to it accordingly. Take note of it accordingly. So what are we discussing today? Today we are going to discuss the forest ecology in India, its typology and the trends that have been observed over past few years. When I am saying past few years, it implies over the period of last 15 years as well as last 2 years, because the Indian State of Forest report, that survey happens every 2 years. So recent data which we have is of 2023. Based on that analytics, we would be discussing today's lecture. So before moving forward, just a small revision to figure out what kind of vegetation does India has. Okay, so this is the map from the NCERT. This map is projecting the different forest types in India. So we'll quickly revise this very quickly. Within next 5 minutes, we would have revised all natural vegetation of India. So Indian vegetation, the natural vegetation is by and large or largely divided into 5 or 6 major categories. First one is tropical evergreen. Second one is deciduous. Deciduous is bifurcated into 2 types, moist deciduous and dry deciduous. Third is mountain forest. Fourth is arid or semi-arid region forest. Fifth is mangrove forest. These are the largely मोटा मोटी तौर पे ये 5-6 कैटेगरीज में इनको डिवाइड किया जाता है. ये क्विकली रिवाइज करेंगे हम लोग, सो देन ओनली यू विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस फ्रॉम द कंटेक्स्ट ऑफ करंट अफेयर्स. First and foremost, tropical evergreen forest. Tropical evergreen forest, the characteristic of tropical evergreen forest is they are found in the regions where the rainfall is more than 200 centimeter year on year basis. So where would you expect them to be found? Obviously on the west, obviously in the Western Ghats, in northeastern states of Meghalaya, Nagaland, Mizoram, Manipur, and southern slopes of Arunachal Pradesh, some parts of Assam as well. Apart from these areas, those are found in Andaman Nicobar Island and Lakshadweep Islands. Tropical evergreen forest, more than 200 plus of 200 plus centimeter of rain. These are the things which are mandatory. Next type of forest, these are the tropical evergreen forests. Here you can see. These are the regions. Next type of forest are deciduous forest. As name suggests, they shed their leaves for a brief period of time in a year. In case of India, they shed their leaves to withstand the extreme heat of summers and to avoid transpiration and water loss. These deciduous forests are categorized into two parts. One is moist deciduous and the other one is dry deciduous. Moist deciduous are largely next to the regions where tropical evergreen forests are observed. So when I'll just write it down, just deciduous forest categorized into two: dry deciduous and moist deciduous. Moist deciduous are the ones where rainfall is between 100 to 200 centimeter, whereas dry deciduous are the one where rainfall is between 70 to 100 centimeter. Alright, these areas or the deciduous forests are also known as monsoon forest or monsoon forests of India because they occupy the largest region of Indian territory. As you can see, it covers this much of area, parts of northeast as well. If you have to put a number, the deciduous forest, both moist and dry deciduous forest, cover approximately 60% of Indian territory. Then next is, as name suggests, arid and semi-arid forest. Those are found where the rainfall is between 10 to 70 centimeter. Obviously, the larger side of the rainfall spectrum will have semi-arid kind of forest, thorny forest, whereas a smaller side of the spectrum will have arid forest, arid or thorny forest, arid region, thorny forest. Next is mangrove forest. Mangrove forest, these are found in regions of marshy land or regions of deltaic regions. Wherever there is a presence of salt water, brackish water, you find the presence of mangrove forest. So where would those be? Those would be found near the coastal regions. For example, here in and around Sundarbans, or in the regions of coastal regions of Odisha, in the coastal regions of Andhra Pradesh, in the coastal regions of Tamil Nadu, and in coastal regions of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, these are present. Similarly, these are present in the regions of Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar Islands. Mountain forest, as name suggests, they are found in the hilly regions of India, that means the Himalayan mountains in Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh and parts of Assam as well. These are present. Similarly, similar kind of forests are present in patches within Western Ghats as well, around Silent Valley National Park, around the tri-junction area of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, where Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats meet. Those are found around these regions as well. अब हम लोगों ने अभी क्या किया, we revised the natural vegetation distribution in India within 5 minutes. It was relevant because what we are going to study, the forest ecology, and current trends. So let's just give you the overall idea what we are going to study in the following 20-30 minutes. First, the first section will be about introduction to Indian State of Forest Report and the methodology deployed. Then we will be seeing classification of forest cover. Then we would be seeing forest typology of India. In what kind of types do we categorize Indian forest? Then we would be observing the data about mangroves and TOF. TOF stands for tree outside forest. These are also called tree cover, but these are tree outside forest. We will then study what are the key findings of ISFR report of 2023. Then we will try and observe the state level trends and case studies. State level trends का मतलब है कि किस state में कितना improvement हमने observe किया है, which were the regions and reasons because of which we have seen the changes. Some states have shown positive changes, that means forest cover has increased. Others have changed, negative changes, meaning the forest area or the afforested land has degraded. This has also been observed. Next is what are the challenges in Indian forest or for Indian ecology, and we'll try and understand what are the policy implications. Okay, this understanding of this part will give you four part, the data which is relevant from the context of Assam, and then we will also see ethics. It can be used in ethics, in environmental ethics. One essay topic in mains always concerns with environment, ecology, biodiversity, climate change. तो इसमें जो आपको डेटा मिलेगा, इसमें जो फैक्ट्स कंटेंट मिलेगा, यू कैन यूटिलाइज इट फॉर essay as well. All right, so let's get started. The first part of this lecture concerns itself with the ISFR data. First part of the lecture concerns with the ISFR data, that is Indian State of Forest Report. This forest report is published every 2 years. The survey is conducted every 2 years. This is the 2023 one was the 18th edition by FSI, Forest Survey of India, which comes under Ministry of Environment. It uses satellite and remote sensing and national forest inventory in order to generate this report. What area does it cover? It covers forest, it covers tree cover, it covers mangroves, it covers carbon stock and fire hotspots along with agroforestry. So technically the forest department, the direct dealing of the forest department is with the forest cover, then it is mangroves. Rest is covered by forest and civil administration together. The tree cover, the agroforestry, the fire hotspots, carbon stocks, etc. Point to be noted here, or the things that you can write in your mains answer are two. First is this report is the 18th one. This is the latest one which you have for your mains purpose, and it is given by the Forest Survey of India under Ministry of Environment. Now this data gives us the forest area classification, forest cover classification. This forest cover classification is categorized into three major categories: very dense forest, moderately dense forest, open forests, and then there is another category, mangrove forest. For the understanding of the report, the mangrove forest which we studied in the National Vegetation Type of India, they are, for the purpose of calculation, they are included under the forest cover in within these three categories. Very dense forests are those where the canopy is more than 70%. Canopy का मतलब क्या होता है? Canopy is like, let's say, these are the trees. I'm drawing the set of trees. Okay. This region you observe, this region which allows or blocks the sun rays from falling on ground. अगर ऊपर से सूरज की किरणें आएगी तो इस कैनोपी की वजह से नीचे तक नहीं जा पाएगी, है ना. So when it is saying canopy is more than 70%, it implies the region is more than 70% covered or blocked for sun rays. Only what is called as 70% canopy cover. Okay, so this very dense forests are those which have more than 70% of canopy forest. The second category is moderately dense forest, MDF. Moderately dense forests are which one? Which have canopy of 40 to 70%. That means the amount of sun rays which are blocked from falling on the ground or covered or absorbed by the canopy is 40 to 70%. Open forest where the canopy is between 10 to 40%. The canopy between 10 to 40% is called open forest. Understood? Because we need to be very clear regarding these terminologies, because when we see in the next data set where one type of forest has increased but the other type of forest has reduced, you would know exactly where the afforestation or deforestation has happened. Has it been productive or has it been ineffective? For example, let's say, hypothetical example, a 3% improvement in VDF will have much more impact than 5% increase in open forest. Why? क्योंकि उसका integration of any forest area, integration of any tree in very dense forest is much higher than that integration what you see in open forest. The integration means interdependency, the cyclical nature of nutrient sharing, etc., etc. As per the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Forest Survey of India, this is the exact amount of forest or percentage of forest found in India. Tropical moist deciduous and tropical dry deciduous. These two, 37 plus 28.6%, both of them, okay, 37% plus 28%, which amounts to 65%. Deciduous forests, like we were discussing earlier, both of them cover, deciduous forests cover the area of around 65%. The tropical wet evergreen covers the 8% of the region. Semi-evergreen 4.1%. Subtropical pine is 6.6%. Mountain or wet temperate 3.6%. And others like thorny, swamp, alpine, etc. वो कैलकुलेशन करने के कंटेक्स्ट में भी बहुत ज़्यादा कम एरिया कवर करता है. So, if there is a question which highlights, which asks you regarding the, let's say if there is a prelim kind of question कि सबसे इंडिया में सबसे ज़्यादा से लेकर सबसे कम तक, arrange the forest cover in India in descending order. You have this order: deciduous forest cover the maximum area, and then tropical wet evergreen and semi-evergreen, and the list follows. Mangroves and tree outside forest. Mangroves and tree outside forest. The mangrove covers is around 4,991 square kilometer, that is 0.15% of the geographical area. Just 0.15%, not even 0.2%, 0.15% of the geographical area. It has slightly declined since 2021. The tree outside forest, that these are the trees which are outside forest. These are the patch of the trees, orchards, and covering around 30.7 million hectares, which is roughly 37% of the forest and tree cover. These forest or these mangrove cover is found highest within the states of Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and obviously West Bengal because of the Sundarban mangroves. Clear? The highest is found in West Bengal, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, etc. The 2023 Indian State of Forest Report, the national overview, what we have observed so far is the total forest and tree cover of India is around 8,27,357 square kilometer, which is roughly 25.17% of India. The national target is 33% of total geographical region, that is 1/3. It is 33%, but currently it is 25.17%, out of which the forest cover is 21.76%. This 33% target is of forest cover. 21.76% is forest cover and roughly 3.41% is tree cover. Both of them combined together give the coverage of 25.17%. What have we observed? What are the changes that we have observed since 2021? The changes that are clearly visible is there has been an increase of roughly 1500 square kilometer. Roughly 1500 square kilometer forest cover has improved or has increased, out of which the majority is taken by the tree cover, whereas forest cover is just 156 square kilometer. So, if I have to draw a pie diagram, this much improvement has been observed in tree cover, whereas only this much has been observed in the forest cover. So, what does this mean is whatever improvement we are seeing is largely in the tree cover region and very small in forest cover region. Just imagine just 156 square kilometer, only 156 square kilometer of the area is under forest cover, rest is under tree cover. The improvement out of total 1500 square kilometer, out of 1500 square kilometer, only 156 square kilometer is within the improvement is in forest cover. Now, let us just try and understand state-wise gains. Let us just understand state-wise gains. We just saw that there is approximately 1500 square kilometer of forest cover or tree cover has increased, out of which only 156 square kilometer is forest cover and remaining roughly 1350 square kilometer is tree cover. But this gain has to be understood from the perspective of the states. Which state has improved the most, which state has seen the decline, which state is showing consistent forest gain. Okay. Now, this data is relevant from the perspective of writing the answers. Mains आंसर में इस फैक्ट्स को अगर आप लिख पाओ तो बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़िया होता है. Let's just see what are the top gains. It includes both the forest cover as well as tree cover. The Chhattisgarh state, the state of Chhattisgarh, which is already a highly densely forested region, has seen the highest improvement. It has seen roughly 700 square kilometer. To be precise, it's 684 square kilometer, but approximately 700 square kilometer of improvement in forest and tree cover. State of Uttar Pradesh and state of Odisha both have seen roughly 550, 560 square kilometer of the improvement. Surprisingly, Rajasthan has emerged as a state with improvement in forest cover. The state has shown improvement of roughly 400 square kilometer. The forest cover gain within northeast is in Mizoram roughly 250 square kilometer. In West India, Gujarat is 180 square kilometer plus. These are the things that the ISFR report has observed over a period of time. All right. Now let's just take a look at the states which have shown the highest forest cover overall, but the total, not just in the ISFR 23, but overall the forest areas of that particular state. The state with the highest forest area, which includes total forest and tree cover both, is Madhya Pradesh with 85,724 square kilometer. Approximately 88,000 square kilometer का जंगल है, forest and tree cover in Madhya Pradesh. The next state is Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh has around 67,000 square kilometer. We are seeing purely in quantitative terms and not as a percentage of that state's geographical area. Next state is Maharashtra with 65,000 square kilometer. These are the three top states with the absolute quantified number of forest area. In terms of the percentage of geography, the highest is seen in Lakshadweep, which is 91% area of geographical area of Lakshadweep is covered by the forest or tree cover. Mizoram, the state in the northeast, has roughly 85% of its geographical area covered by forest or tree cover. Andaman and Nicobar Island has 82%. The top three performers in terms of the percentage of geographical area are Lakshadweep 91%, Mizoram 85%, and Andaman Nicobar Island as 82%. Please note, like I have stated in the very beginning of this lecture, the purpose of today's lecture is to give certain facts, not to discuss concepts, not to give any educative opinion. Today's motive is just to state facts based on the ISFR report. These facts are to be used in your mains answer writing. When you answer questions, wherever there is a question associated with geography environment ecology, biodiversity, climate change, or environmental ethics, or governance practices vis-a-vis forest area. Everywhere you can use this data. All right. Now, let's take a look at the case study of Uttar Pradesh. The 560 square kilometer improvement that Uttar Pradesh had seen, the 560 square kilometer of improvement in forest and tree cover that UP has observed in ISFR of 2023, it was driven by the plantation drive, planting roughly 240 crores of sapling since 2017. The survival rate of those 240 crore was roughly 86%. मतलब अगर उन्होंने 100 trees plant किए तो उसमें से 86 survive कर चुके हैं, which is a very good survival rate. Given the fact that it is one thing to plant a tree and it is another thing to take care of it, to look after it, to make sure it grows and survives. नहीं तो हम बहुत politicians ऐसे हैं कि जो आते हैं फोटो खिंचवाते हैं, प्लांटेशन करते हैं और निकल जाते हैं. Nobody takes care of them afterwards, after that initial plantation drive has happened. This is so big deal that Uttar Pradesh has ranked second in the national green cover growth. This improvement has happened within a very short span of time. Here is a Gujarat case study. Here the tree cover dropped by roughly, what happened? Tree cover was dropped by roughly 17%. It dropped from 8,034 square kilometer to 6,632 square kilometer. And then there was another improvement of 241 square kilometer tree cover outside of the forest. And again green cover rose from 10% to 11%. Forest fires and its impact on the carbon stock. Forest fire. India, the report has observed that there were 203,550 forest hotspots, fire hotspots, which have been reduced by roughly 20,000. 2 साल में 20,000 fire hotspots कम हुआ है. Growing stock is around 262 million cubic meter. That means which has seen the improvement of 4%. We had carbon sink target, now we have exceeded that, which is around 30 billion ton carbon dioxide equivalent, which is a carbon stock. Currently, the drivers of afforestation are the afforestation program like social forestry or agroforestry or community forestry. Then there are loss factors which include the urban sprawl, the urbanization drive happening all around the cities, all around the urban centers. Then there is industrial diversion, कोई plant आ गया वहाँ के जंगल हटा दिए, उस जंगल को कहीं और शिफ्ट कर दिया. Then there is प्रॉब्लम ऑफ मोनोकल्चर. मोनोकल्चर का मतलब होता है कि एक ही स्पीशी, एक ही पेड़ को पूरे प्लांटेशन एरिया में फैला दिया. एंड देन देयर आर डिग्रेडेड TOF, डिग्रेडेड ट्रीज आउटसाइड फॉरेस्ट. देन देयर इज अ क्लाइमेटिक स्ट्रेस, वार्मिंग, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग रिड्यूसिंग द नेट प्राइमरी प्रोडक्टिविटी ऑफ फॉरेस्ट इकोसिस्टम्स. Global warming has reduced the net primary productivity. Why? Because in order to survive in that heat, they consume more energy and the less left for the next consumer. So when we write mains answer, we have to give some way forward, we have to give some takeaways. In this case, what ISFR, Indian State of Forest report, has suggested is we should promote the community forestry and agroforestry. we should have the balanced approach towards development and forest conservation. Industrial diversion concerns के बारे में बात किया. The report has asked us to focus on enhancing mangrove restoration and coastal protection. Then improve fire management with early detection tech and prioritize climate resilient afforestation strategies. Alright. So, the motive of today's lecture was to give you certain facts, certain inputs which can be utilized for answer writing. Here are some concluding remarks which can be directly used for your answer writing. The fact, the India's forest cover crosses 25% of geographical area. It has first time crossed the geographical area, 25% of geographical area with sustained growth. In this growth, the major contributor is the tree outside of the forest. TOF category जो है वो tree outside of the forest is a major contributor. Still, regional disparities are still in existence. For example, we saw that UP has gained so much. Uttar Pradesh has improved forest cover so much that it was second highest growth producer, whereas Gujarat has lost the forest area. The current challenges that we have, they include the forest fire or the ecological stress and the balanced land used. So, I'll repeat myself one more time. The today's lecture was intended to give you certain facts. It was not intended to give you any subjective opinions or any conceptual clarity. The purpose was to give you certain databases which you can utilize in mains answer writing. Alright, thank you for coming live and attending the lecture.